World War II, the deadliest war in human history. Over 70 million lives lost, entire nations destroyed, empires collapsed. But behind every explosion, every front line, every invasion, there were reasons. Complex, strategic, political, and deeply human. Today on Twin Power Core Cells, we uncover the real reason why World War II happened. A chain of events so powerful, so interconnected, that the world was pushed into a war no one could stop. The story doesn't begin in 1939. It begins in 1919, right after World War I. Germany had lost the war, and the world punished them brutally. Through the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was forced to pay enormous war reparations, give up territory, disband large parts of its military, accept full blame for World War I. This humiliation created anger, frustration, and economic collapse. Hospitals were empty. Factories were silent. People starved. Inflation destroyed savings. A loaf of bread cost millions of German marks. The world thought this treaty would prevent war, but instead, it planted the seeds for an even bigger one. The world watched Hitler grow stronger, but no one stopped him. Britain and France were afraid of another war, so they allowed Hitler to rebuild his army, take back land, break the treaty, expand German power. This policy was called appeasement, giving the bully what he wants, hoping he'll stop. But Hitler only became more aggressive. The 1930s were filled with economic depression. Countries were desperate, angry, unstable. Japan needed resources. Italy wanted an empire. Germany wanted power. The Soviet Union wanted security. The Western world wanted peace at any cost. Everyone had conflicting goals. The world became a powder keg. One spark, and everything would explode. In 1939, Germany surrounded Poland on three sides. Hitler demanded the Polish corridor. Poland refused. Britain and France promised to defend Poland. But secretly, Hitler had already made a deal. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a shocking alliance between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. They agreed to split Poland between them. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. On September 17th, the Soviet Union invaded from the east. This time, Britain and France finally declared war. World War II had begun. Japan wanted oil, steel, and dominance in Asia. Italy wanted colonies and recognition. Both saw Hitler's fast success. Both joined the Axis for power and expansion. Suddenly, the war became global. Europe, Africa, Asia, Pacific, Atlantic. The world was fully engulfed. So, why did World War II really happen? It wasn't just Hitler. It wasn't just one invasion. It wasn't just a treaty. The real reason was a combination of unresolved anger from World War I, economic collapse and desperation, rise of dictatorships, failure of world leaders to act, global competition for power and resources, extreme nationalism and racism, a world unwilling to stand united. War didn't happen overnight. It was the result of decades of mistakes, fear, and ambition. World War II wasn't just a war of nations. It was a war of decisions, a war of consequences. Millions died, empires fell, new world powers rose, and the world learned a painful lesson. When injustice is ignored, when leaders stay silent, when one nation's anger is allowed to grow, history will repeat itself. This is Twin Power Core Cells, where we dig deep into the hidden truths behind war, power, and humanity. subscribe, and continue the journey through history's greatest mysteries.